Grateful for God, grateful for life, grateful for my family, all my friends. Mm, definitely grateful for 3 6 Mafia. Definitely. Slob on the okay, let me stop. But I am I did a lot of reflection. Ah man, I always do this. I do a lot of reflection and what went out in my newsletter was just how grateful I am for all the people that are at my gym that choose to follow my lead, that choose to roll with me through everything. And I'm grateful for all the lessons that I've been able to learn from them, which has been very impactful in my life. So I've learned how to become a better man because of coaching people at the gym. And I'm very appreciative of that. So I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, let me know what you're grateful for. Always love it when people share. Today's topic: forgive yourself or be stuck. This one, this one came to me Friday, and it really hit home yesterday. So on Friday, I started watching Goodwill Hunting, and I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. Probably not since I've been more aware of myself. I've seen plenty of clips or whatnot, but to sit down and watch the movie and finishing it last night, it brought out emotions that, again, one would surmise were already gone. But when Robin Williams consistently says, it's not your fault, and just watching that break down all the walls, and it was just like, whoa. I I don't know. It hit me really hard, and it let me the path I followed through that was just realizing that the next step is forgiving yourself. And then it just expanded from there. Like, do we forgive ourselves for every mess up that we make? Do we forgive ourselves for any wrongs that we do? And I know for me, I don't always forgive myself right away. And that's been an issue, and learning how to do that. It made me think like how many other people, how many men, how many women, how many people out there just hold that resentment against themselves, or can't get past it, and they just get so stuck in it, stuck in that mud, and it doesn't allow them to grow. And I don't know, I just went in a deep dive about that, and how could we, when you really think about it, if you don't forgive yourself, then how can you really go forward interacting with anyone else? Because all your reactions are going to be in certain situations are going to be very hostile, because if you haven't forgiven yourself on that, then you're assuming that they're blaming you as well, even though they haven't even said that. And so it just got me thinking. And I know a while ago, and it's something I started in therapy, and then I've done it a lot on my own since then, is forgiving myself, not so much for the wrongs that I've done at first, but forgiving myself for not knowing what I know now when I was a kid, right? And it sounds silly, right? Well, you were a kid, you didn't know any better, or you didn't know how to get out of that situation. That's fine. But because of the way my brain works, is like it takes on so much responsibility if I just say, "Well, I didn't," it won't compute that, "Okay, cool, you didn't know any better," or "You didn't know how to navigate out of that situation." Like, that's not gonna help me move past it. So instead, what I've learned is to forgive myself, my younger version of myself, for not knowing how to move through that and not having the information. So that way it's like, okay, yes, I didn't know that information, but I still forgive you for not maneuvering out of it. It was just, it's an easier process for me. And especially when it came to my stepfather, right? And all the things that happened to me, whether it was the physical abuse, the mental abuse, the sexual assaults, whatever it is, I had to forgive myself because I was so mad at myself for allowing that to happen. I didn't know how to let it go. I didn't know how to let that anger go. I didn't know how to let all of that emotion go until I just said, "Yo, I forgive you." Because it wasn't, even though it wasn't your fault, I understand why you think it is, and I understand why you feel that way. I forgive you for that. So going forward, it's not about whether it was your fault or not your fault. You're forgiven for that. Now move forward. Let's not be stuck in that section of life anymore. Let's move forward. Which then led to me forgiving my stepfather and led to other things that just released all this negative energy and these emotions because I used them for so long for fighting and I used them to get more things done, but it's not something you can feed off long term. And I didn't know how to shut it off. And because I didn't know how to shut it off, it really became an issue in other aspects of my life. And then I just had to forgive myself for being a knucklehead kid that didn't focus at school, that didn't buckle down when it came to sports, right? I did all the work, but I didn't train the same way I did later in my life when I was training for fights, right? When I'm doing 2 a days and 3 a days all the time. And how much better I could I have been if I would have worked that way. And so just forgiving myself for those, forgiving myself for going to work too much, or forgiving myself for anything, anything that I deem bad, right? Because I don't care what you think. It's not about what you think and what you think is bad. It's about what I think is bad and what affects me, right? How I function. And so letting go of that and learning to forgive yourself is a giant step in doing that. So legend says the feeling of never being good enough. Yeah, that's, I mean, when you don't forgive yourself, that's exactly what happens is you don't look at yourself in a positive light, right? You're still holding on to all this. So you're never going to think anybody else looks at you in a positive way. Melissa says, "How do we make those moves and mental shifts? Any specific steps you took, outlets that helped?" Yeah. So for me, what worked is actually writing out what I thought was wrong. Um, it could have been punching my brother in the face. I don't know, like it, just anything. Even the things that happened to me as a child, just writing them out. And one, being honest with myself and looking at how I could have handled it differently, right? Whether it was For instance, like one of the things that I really had to forgive myself for is the day I went back to my school when school was already done and looking for the dude and finding the dude that said he was going to kill me and fighting him in front of my school that I almost lost my life. Got my wrist sliced, my chest sliced, my back sliced, and it could have been way worse. And it was already really bad. So writing all that down and then saying, okay, how could I have done it differently? I could have not went back to that school to approach somebody that said they were going to try to kill me. And they were a man of their word. They literally tried to kill me, right? So write that down like, okay, I could have avoided that situation by not going back there, right? Because for me, Melissa says journaling or list making, either one is fine. I don't I do a halfway journal that sometimes turns into a list. It's a little bit of both for me. So write it down. I didn't have to show up. I didn't have to come seek it out, right? Now, are there other options? Some people would go to authorities. That wasn't my style right then. So that wasn't going to happen. So I had to keep it within reason of what I would do. Um Avoiding that situation for a little while and then taking it a step further, talk to other people that I'm cool with that are cool with him to get a sit down to make it happen where we can actually just chop it up and talk. Like that easily could have happened. And then after addressing all that, saying, okay, I forgive you for making this move. This wasn't the right move, right? This, this, this didn't help us, but I forgive you for that and letting it go. And if it pops up in your head and you're starting to blame yourself again, for me, looking in the mirror works better than else. I look in the mirror and I say, I forgive you. I forgive you for this, 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 and this, and this. Cool. Okay. Let's move on with our day now. So those are steps that work for me. And it's really it's just another way of holding yourself accountable. If I make a mistake at like running my business, if I make a mistake when it comes to relationships, if I make a mistake as a father, I've learned that if I don't forgive myself, I sometimes repeat those mistakes because I'm still holding in all that pain. I'm still holding in all that hurt. I'm still holding on to that negative energy. And instead of learning from it completely, I tend to like make the same mistake again. And that's tough. That's really tough as you get older and you live your life and you have a little you get to a point where you have less time on this earth um left than you've already lived, if that makes sense. So like why hold that grudge against you, right? Why just continue to beat yourself down? There's no religious text, there's no Eastern philosophies or anything of that that say that you should suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer for the mistakes you make, right? And what you'll figure out is that as you forgive yourself, you'll judge others less, which is a big deal, at least for me in the way I see it. Not my place to judge you. It's not my place to put my thoughts and feelings onto you. If you don't fit, if our values don't align, you don't have to be in my life. And that's really simple for me. You can continue living your life. You don't have to live in mine. And so I've only gotten better at that by forgiving myself for mistakes I've made. And sometimes acknowledging those mistakes hurt, like acknowledging that things that I could have done differently that maybe wouldn't have led to my first divorce, right? My first marriage failing. Acknowledging that and being honest with myself about that and then forgiving myself for that, allows me to have a better relationship with my ex-wife and a much better relationship with my son, right? Holding on to that wouldn't have helped us at all. So, and it's also helped me move forward as a man in, in a better way. Like we're supposed to forgive others, right? Forgive others. You have to forgive yourself as well. And once you start doing that, it becomes so much easier to forgive other people. Other things that I think I've done, I I mean, I talked about this I think on the last podcast or maybe a couple podcasts ago. I spend a lot of time talking to myself. Like really really weird. Like I talk to myself in the shower, I'll talk to myself in the car. I'll be in the bathroom and be my own hype man. But I'm great. I'm this. I forgive you. And actually, I look just like this. I forgive you for all the mistakes that you made yesterday. I forgive you for those. We're going to focus on doing better today. And that's all you got to do. And you just move on. Now, Corey says forgiveness, easier said than done. Mm, only if you don't mean it. You have to genuinely mean it. You have to make the choice, whether you're forgiving yourself or someone else. I forgive you for this. And you might have to do this every single day. But if you continue to do it, it'll feel better. And that's what you're looking for. Exactly, Melissa. It may take some time. So, nothing that I talk about on this podcast is ever, or in person, is ever a quick fix. If someone sells you a quick fix, they're full of they're full of crap, right? I think I can say that word. Can I say that word? I was talking about the other word. They won't flag that, will they? Or maybe, but yeah. So, like, there's no quick fix for anything, right? Everything takes a little bit of time. 5 minutes is time, right? A lifetime of learning how to forgive yourself is just that. It's a lifetime. If you got to spend every day apologizing to yourself and forgiving yourself, it's still better than being stuck in that. Like the worst thing you could do is be trapped. Like being trapped in your own self-pity and your own negative emotions and this because you made this mistake, right? And I know like when I say this, I thought about people saying, "Well, what if you killed somebody or what if you did something?" And it makes me just think about everything I've ever read in religions, in philosophy. It's like, that's not my place to judge you. Because if someone killed someone today and in 10 years ran into a burning building and saved 20 people, is that person a villain or a hero? It's it's weird how life can move like that, right? M- when you make mistakes, I think what helps, especially mistakes like that, I think what helps families heal is when you're actually when you learn to be remorseful and you recognize what you did was wrong. When you start taking onus and responsibility of it, right? So, okay, Kaysen, you say, "How do you?" Okay, and then I don't know about what the song about Kaysen, but how I do it and how I stated earlier was, more or less journaling is how I started it. Everything I've ever done started with journaling. It started with writing, and I despised it. I don't like to write. I really don't, and it I forced myself to do it anyway and started filling up notebooks, right, of just random thoughts and random things and writing out what I need to forgive myself for from um especially when I wrote about the abuse that I endured from my stepfather. I felt like what's a good word? I felt soft, right? I felt really soft because I'm like, I'm acknowledging that I was a victim. I'm no victim, but at that moment of time I was, right? And I had to forgive myself for that because the way I look at people when they are trapped in being a victim when they're really not is like it's like what are you doing? You're you're in victim mode for no reason. Get out of that. So like leave that mode. So acknowledging that I was really a victim at that time took a lot to just acknowledge and then going through what I could have done differently. Well, I could have just opened up and talked to somebody. I could have let somebody know the first time it happened. I could have let somebody know after the first year was happening. I could have let somebody know 10 years after. Like, I just never said anything for so long. And I knew people knew, right? Because I was going to school in bandages a certain way. So, like, teachers would ask me how that happened, and they look very suspect. Like, I had the state people at my house a couple times. Police have been at my house multiple times because of it. So it's like I just it is what it is. So I had to forgive myself for all that. So it was it's writing it down. And the reason why I didn't like writing it down was honestly, it made it stuck more. Like it hurt more to write it out. It felt real, which it was, which was the point. And so it what is going wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. The chat is going nuts. Uh all right. So what's now I'm at a stage where I don't write as much. I speak out loud a little bit more. I'm at a different stage of this where if I need to, I'll write it out. But for the most part, if I just look at myself in a mirror, acknowledge certain things, and then forgive myself for it, I can move on. I take it a step further. I ask for forgiveness for like I forgive myself, but then um I ask God for forgiveness. So I do both of that, both of those. And that's my process. That's what really works for me. First, writing it out, acknowledging acknowledging what was wrong, acknowledging what I could have done differently. That's a big one. because now I'm holding myself accountable for my actions, right? Whether the actions were done to me or actions that I've done, I'm holding myself responsible for my involvement in this situation that I deem wrong, not you, but what I deem wrong. And then I forgive myself for that, right? It works. Cheech, I see what you're saying. Oh, he's talking about a whole different philosophy of life. There is no God. You're the God. How you doing? Because I got to go sit down in a cage and there's gods and goddesses. Wait, is he a fighter? If you just let me up and speak up for a minute, it would be a lot easier. Oh, I'm not doing that right now. But thank you. Um, yeah. Shout out Rob. What is that? Robo Virgo and DLO for the hearts. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, see, nobody does you're not different than anyone else. Anybody, anybody the rest. I mean, I can see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. You're basically saying, I mean, you did say it. Focus on yourself and learn how to maneuver. You know, don't understand because you continue to hurt. I'm trying to speak with my own words, and you're not. I mean, you speak. I mean, you're kind of speaking with your own words right now, homie. So yeah. So you know what, Cheech, I'm gonna call you out. You're acting like a victim right now. I'm trying to speak with my own words and you're not allowing me to. Yeah, because you're controlling the narrative by me not being able to talk. Homie, you came on my channel. Why don't you get down here and type with me? What is you typing 30 words a minute? Yeah, like you just going. Okay, you're playing a game all on your own, Cheech. I enjoy it though. Cool. I forgive you. I forgive you. I don't know if I would have forgiven. I mean, I, internet is funny to me sometimes. Yeah, I get no, you don't get because I'll get kicked and blocked and dropped. Homie, I'm not doing. Yeah, is what they all do. They do the same thing. You're on a bad wagon with the rest of the clown. Yeah, go ahead and do what you do. Like I have no idea what he's talking about, y'all. Sounds like somebody's hurt. He's very hurt. He's very hurt. Very hurt. He seems to be projecting. Yeah, I was looking for that word. He's definitely projecting something. He's I don't know what other people did to him on live, but this is a hurt individual. Yeah. May need some advice. Cheech. Yeah, Cheech. What I would tell you is if you want to get your voice out there more, what I would do is start making videos and start your own podcast and go out there. Google my name and then you can say something about me. Google search it's me, Cheech. Can someone do that, please? I wish this was the real Pat McAfee that's trying to get into your live stream right now. That would be dope. That would be dope. But it's not, is it? No. Okay. Legend said she okay, chill. You don't see what Legend said? Cheech, go find your chong. That's funny. But hopefully that's really oh, you know what? He's giving me some he's giving me the person that pursued a lawsuit on certain people in Madison? Hey, there you go. He's a rapper? Or no? I don't know. It's fine. Please don't play that. Please don't play that. Please don't do that. Please not do that. Let's not do that.
And tell him,
But you know who
tell
I'm
him we'll
talking.
come back. I'll follow him on SoundCloud. I'll show him some love. I don't know nothing
So
about him.
Corey, the El Capitan and everything is said he's gonna follow you on SoundCloud, homie. You the man now. Um,
All right, let me pop out this chat. Just give me a second.
but I can't stress to you how much forgiving yourself will will help you go forward in life. It's like,
I got Elon's phone number.
oh my goodness.
That's not even something to brag about.
Legend says you guys only stream on Mondays. Yeah, as of right now.
Legend, should we go more than Mondays?
Yeah, are you saying you need more than one of me? You need another day? Let's go.
Why don't you give us the number?
Um, it's called, okay, I'm not engaging anymore. It's fine.
Reach out.
Forgi- forgiving forgiving yourself, forgiving yourself will it's like removing a 50-pound weight from your chest, yo. Like, yeah, and especially for I can't speak to at least another day, man.
That's love.
I appreciate that, legend. So to me, this is humans, but because I'm not a woman, I'm not going to speak for women. But yeah, when it comes to men, though, when it comes to men, one of the worst things that we do is we hold on to our mistakes because we believe it's going to help us, and we hang on to it for no reason. And the flip side, sometimes we don't even acknowledge that we've done wrong. We just skate right past it. And there has to be a little of both. If you mess up a marriage, if you make mistakes, I won't say mess up, but if you make mistakes, right, in a relationship, instead of pushing it all on them, right, acknowledge what you've done wrong. Maybe you could have showed up better. Maybe you could have showed up different. Now, with that said, I'm not saying change who you are. I am just saying acknowledge where you could have done better because that will help you become a better man going forward. Forgive yourself for it. And the list goes on whatever you apply this to. You did a job. It it didn't pan out. What could you have done better? Taking control of all that gives you so much more power and confidence, right? And it's not a and the one thing I do hear people talk about, and something that we've talked about in the studio. Oh, I trusted the wrong person. I shouldn't trust people. What? No, 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 no. They probably showed you something. You overlooked it. Go back and reevaluate yourself. Go back and check yourself and hold yourself accountable for your mistakes. Not the mistake in trusting someone, but for maybe not catching things sooner and not pivoting sooner, or just forgive yourself for just falling for the okey doke. It's okay. It's okay. We're all a little naive, right? We want to believe the best in people. Sometimes it just doesn't go that way. What the am I looking up
Go to the
to?
top one. Highlighted.
Hum Humility, humble accountability. Yeah. Within reason. Definitely within reason. If you've been with me long enough, you know how I feel about that word humble. I'm only humble to one being because I look at everybody else as we're the same. Like, I might admire certain things, but I believe I'm great as well, along with you. but definitely accountability. Yeah, in everything. It's so much easier that way. I get I give you an example, and it's a stupid example, right? But I went I went to last night. My son and I played a game of Madden, which I won.
Mm, which one? The new man?
The new Madden, which I won,
Thought you was gonna be humble.
which he caught me slipping last time we played. So this time I had to let him know, like, nah, these stick skills are still. Don't worry, you haven't got there yet. Um, go use the bathroom real quick. What I didn't know is that he dipped and went downstairs for something. I don't know. When I came out of the bathroom, I just walked over to the table and I started working, and the TV was still on. I didn't know. And I got asked, why is the TV on? I answered, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And what I ended up doing is just like, you know what? That's on me. Because I could have walked back in the room, made sure that everything was shut off. Not a big deal. But it's just like little things. It's like I've talked about it before. As men, we're we're supposed to be El Capitan of the household. We got to hold ourselves accountable for everything because it's our job to see it. It's our job to live it. It's our job to be it. What the heck? Oh, my wife asked. She asked, why was the TV on? It's her pet peeve. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world to me. Actually, I don't get it's not my pet peeve, but I just laugh whenever lights are left on. So I'm like, how much is this adding to my bill right now? And so go back and turn off the lights. But it's because I'm older now. If someone does something, I just instead of saying asking that question why are the lights on, I just shut them off because I want them off. And so, but it's still on me to be accountable for that. So it's just like it is what it is. Holding yourself accountable for your actions, holding yourself accountable for the things that you do, forgiving yourself for those things, like it'll help you so much. You get in a fight with your significant other and you say something you shouldn't have said, happens all the time in relationships, right? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I was wrong for saying that. My bad. Allow them to be upset about it. It is what it is. But then you got to forgive yourself. Because if you keep beating yourself up, then you end up like that little beaten puppy dog, thinking that like you ain't nothing and that they're just beating on you. Wait, what did he say? Nope, that's another thing. People that say my bad and say sorry, I meant to say to begin. So he's saying some Kevin Gates stuff. So Kevin Gates is big on saying, I don't say sorry because like that's his big thing. He doesn't say sorry, he just moves differently. He just doesn't do it again. And so that's one way of thinking. However, that doesn't help the other person as much. Yeah. So what's get said here? Just as much as little things in life that make a difference. It's a little changes that we can make that make things better. Yeah, exactly. Forget and forgiveness is such a simple thing. You just might have to do it every day. And so whether it's journaling, talking to yourself, making videos that nobody ever sees, like it doesn't matter, talking with a therapist, religious people talk to priests and pastors and things of that nature. It's like there's a reason why in the Catholic religion they go and they say everything that they've done wrong and they ask for forgiveness, and then they're given their what's it called, their penance, their things that they got to do, right? There's a reason why they do that. It's like you clean the soul. That's what you need to do. It's like you're cleaning that, you're getting all that off of you. Well, you don't need a priest to go do that. You can have your own relationship with yourself and talk to yourself. And if you believe in the higher power, you could talk to the higher power all on your own. When someone makes little comments about what they do or don't like, I like to take a mental note. Yeah. Why do you make a mental note of that? When someone makes a little comment about what they do or don't like, you mean in order to get to know that person better? So I can make that little change and make it so I could help them. Yeah. So that's really dope. So I can make that little change to make it so I could do my best to help in that way. Yes. So that's on point. I It's funny. I say this in any relationship that I get into. I'm I'm oh boy. When I get in relationships, I make it known I don't if I choose to do something for you, it's my choice. I'm not as long I don't have a problem doing something or adjusting what I say or things of that nature, as long as I don't believe it's changing who I am, right? So, not doing something, moving in a different way, um, and deciding that it's not it's not a big deal, then yeah, then I'm right along with you. Knowing what someone likes and dislikes, that's big in any kind of relationship, whether it's intimate relationship or just a what is it, a platonic relationship, like a friendship. So it's like you can, I don't know, that's a really good way to treat humans, I guess. What is so funny over there? You put him in timeout. He's in timeout for 5 minutes. Oh well.
Could have said the entire laugh.
Yeah, that's funny.
Thought 5 minutes was good.
That's funny.
You liked the live after that though.
So does anybody legend is laughing. Man, that might be the first. He might be the first person we put in timeout, yo.
I think that was the first one we put in.
Man,
I like the energy, but come back in.
man, you're not changing Jack Squad because in the end, it's always the same. Yeah, the stream has been wild. Like I'm trying to have in-depth conversations about forgiveness.
I don't know how he typed so fast.
Yeah, he took a typing class. Yeah, I don't know. But what y'all think over there since I have people in the studio or online? If you guys got questions or thoughts, ask away. Please.
I think I like the actionable steps that you're giving people, like journaling
Mm,
and like I like the idea that you have steps and that you can share those with people in ways that help them.
yeah. No, that was a good question you asked me too about what actions I take. I mean, everything takes action, right? You can have a thought, but you got to take action and to make it happen. And I didn't know this growing up, but we retain 75% of what we write. So that's another reason why writing was so important. It's like, I don't like this, but I'm liable to remember it more by writing it out. So, yeah. What you think, Corey?
Forgiveness is quite a journey.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Some folks, possibly me included, at times aren't always willing to walk down that road. They're hesitant to walk down that road for whatever reason.
Oh, I mean the reason's obvious, but even in dealing with yourself.
Probably that's the hardest road.
Hmm.
Probably it's easier for me to forgive somebody else in most cases than it is
Hmm.
forgive yourself.
So Corey's talking about how it's harder for him to forgive himself sometimes than it is for other people. You know what I think of now when people don't forgive themselves? They are they're they're doing what they used to do in parts of Europe during before England was even all the way together. Like they take a bullwhip and they start whipping their back. They're punishing themselves. And when you don't forgive yourself, that's exactly what you're doing. You are punishing yourself over and over and over and over again. And the thing is, that doesn't help you. It keeps you just stuck in that moment because you can't fix it. You can't go back in time. If we can go back in time, that'd be a whole different thing, right? We can do a different action, but we can't. And the issue is because we don't forgive ourselves and move forward, the odds that we make a different choice when a scenario that is very similar to that comes up are slim to none because we may not have the same situation, but we're going to have something that's like it or something that could cause the same emotions that were involved in this one. And so we have to forgive ourselves to oh my goodness, it's in order to move forward and really help ourselves. Okay, what's he saying now? Legend says, "Oh, that's how it feels for sure. Thank you." Legend says, "I'll forgive because it's an open door to move on. I won't forget though. I'll make a mental note." Oh, for sure. That's that's in dealing with yourself and others. You don't ever forget. Don't get it twisted. Every scar I have mentally and emotionally from the things that I've been through will never leave. But the difference is they heal over and they actually scar instead of just being open wounds because I've forgiven, right? Absolutely sick that you just did that. I was trying to speak my mind and that was being shut down by a background guy sick. That well, hey Cheech, what I'll say is the name of the podcast is You Control You. So if somebody else is making you sick or upsetting you, my advice is maybe that's not the way you want, that's not the right people that you should be around. Maybe you should move in a circle of people that don't cause that feeling, or look at your behavior and make sure that your behavior is on point. Um, that's the beauty of this podcast. You control you, right? And so I get it, Cheech. You are looking for an outlet, and for some reason, you don't ever feel heard. So, I'm oh, mm, mm. What I'll say is, why do you know what? I'll indulge. Here you go, Cheech. Why do you feel like you need to be heard so much? Why do you feel like you need to be heard? Oh yeah, now Ask myself. I'm not the one complaining. What? What? Hmm.
How are you deflecting answers?
Yeah. Why are you asking a question from a question? Why do I want my voice heard? Because I've been through enough pain and suffering that I actually want to share with others. The difference is I don't go on other people's platforms and get mad about it. So if that okay, oh, that would be me too. Okay. Then why are you I'm not mad. You don't even allow me to speak. You've been speaking this whole time, homie.
More text character than anybody else in there.
Tone? Oh, I'm the things that I want to say right now, I can't say. I don't I don't text doesn't have a tone. And I just see words right now. So it's all good, Cheech. You're entertaining other people. Um, yeah, you can have a voice. Just why is it what I got another question.
Hold up.
What message are you trying to get across, Cheech? You're trying to get across that what I'm doing is very wrong. What am I doing that's wrong? What okay. What message are you trying to get across? I feel like I'm talking to a little kid. You, what is it that you are trying to say?
We're just trying to coordinate.
Yeah, like he's saying a lot of words without saying anything. It's okay. It's okay, Cheech. You've typed a million sentences and now you can't type. All right.
So my only advice is it's not the more stuff that you type, it's the clarity of what you
Yeah.
type.
How am I
So
gonna
just speak
explain
more
myself by typing
directly,
it in
not
full?
in general.
It's okay. It's okay, Cheech. It's okay. Your your voice is heard, and I pray for you that you have a great day. Did he just make up a narrative in his head?
I think he said he doesn't believe in God earlier.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
He's
we're
he
sending good vibes your way.
he's in a victim mentality. It's okay. It's okay, Cheech. Whatever is causing it, man, just have a great day. And remember that you control you and everything is gonna be all good. Schizophrenia. Legend. Oh my goodness. When I end up having like hundreds of people in here, these comments are gonna be reckless. Reckless. But I don't know. I encourage all of you to really start forgiving yourself, forgive others for their transgressions, and remove that energy from your chest, remove that weight from your body, and enjoy life. As I told my son this morning, because he was sore and wasn't excited about wrestling practice, is you could be dead. Instead, you're alive. And at the perfect moment, this very old man, homeless man, walks across the street, and I'm like, what do you think that old man's if that old man had a chance to continue to be himself, or be a 15-year-old kid that's doing wrestling? Which would he choose? And he said the latter. I'm like, there you go. So enjoy life, man. Be blessed. If there's something you want to change in your life, then change it. If there's something else you want to do with your life, then do it. Talking ain't going to get you there. It takes work. And part of that work, I'll be honest, is forgiving yourself so you don't trip over yourself anymore. Otherwise, like you might as well get a bullwhip and just whip yourself. You'll get way more out of it than that. At least you're getting the energy out, right? So, man, keep it pushing. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. I appreciate y'all, especially you, Cheech. You've talked more than anybody else in my comments, so I appreciate you. Legend, everybody else, I DLO. What is that woman's name? Or is that a female name that was chiming in before? What's It's really hard for me to see. Oh wait, no. Well, oh, right there. What is that? Trista. I'll just leave it at Trista. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Everybody that chimed in. He said he'll bring me up in the algorithm. Okay, now you're being okay. You know what? I'm not gonna hate. It's okay. I love you anyway. This is You Control You. We out.